I just want to say I have had so much fun the last few weeks putting my videos out and getting to know so many of you guys. Thank you so much for your comments. And I just have to give a special thanks to Alyssa Sharp. I know you guys know her. I know you guys are just followers of her. And I found her a couple of months ago. Um, I don't even know. I was just looking on astrology stuff. To be honest with you, I really had no idea what a cool world it was on YouTube. And I've just been obsessed for the last month looking at different videos and different astrologers. There's some amazing astrologers out there offering wonderful forecasts that are really accurate. And at the end of my video today, if you guys look, I'm going to be just promoting a few that I like. Just to kind of give you an understanding. You've seen a lot of what I've been doing. You're probably thinking, who is this girl? Who does she think she is? You know what? I'm just following my heart. This is something that has radically changed my life. Finding astrology for me was just something that helped make sense, gave me a visual picture. I'm a Virgo. And I love to know not only, why things work, how things work. So I'm always studying, and being that I'm Pisces rising, Pisces moon, I'm always looking into the deeper things of life. And so for me, this is kind of a tool, a fun way for me to understand what's going on, kind of puts a name to things. And the interesting thing about it is that as you watch different videos and you watch different things, it's different people's perspective of it and how it affects their life. So there's no right or wrong answer on how astrology can affect your life. I'm here to share with you guys, just encourage you guys on how to use the power of your planets. I am still studying astrology. In fact, I'm saving up my money right now. I saw a really cool lady on YouTube this week. In fact, I'll be, like I said, putting her name also, talking about her more, but I'm saving up my money to have a really extensive reading done. So, again, I'm here to just show one perspective, the part of astrology that's changed my life. But I'm still learning. And I love talking to you guys. I've learned already so much from you guys. Some of your questions have caused me to go and study more and make sure I understand what I'm talking about. But I am still a student. I can share a very unique perspective with you. I can read a chart and gain a lot of knowledge about somebody's life from it. And like I said, it's helped me. It's helped people around me. And it's fun. It can be fun. It can be really fun. So let's keep it that way. Anyway, back to just saying again, thank you, Alyssa Sharp, for she's just been such a cool chick. And you guys may not realize it, but this girl really is just brilliant. And she's really deep. She's got a lot of really neat things she's saying behind her amazing comedic ability. So really listen to what she's saying, guys, because she's given just an awesome perspective. So I love it. So this week, I have decided to take on, right out of the gate, Scorpio. And I've been nervous all week about this, but it's been really heavy on my heart because I kept thinking, well, I've talked a lot about myself, and what would I want to share about next that's, deeply affected my life. And I've had a lot of Scorpios around me my whole entire life. I personally have no Scorpio in my first 6 planets. I do have Scorpio in Neptune, which is a generational planet, and that does give my generation deeper insights into the underworkings of our generation. We want to go deeper. We want to question things. We want to, open our minds to anything and everything we can learn about. So I do understand it on a generational level, and I'm actually really happy I have it there. I'm cool with that. Then, with all of my chart, you find one Scorpio in my eighth house. I have Scorpio. And eighth house is sex, love, money, and where else but to have it is in Scorpio. So I'm wondering, because I always ask questions, I always ask like personal questions about astrology. If being that I really don't have any Scorpio anywhere else, but in this eighth house, if that has been some kind of magnet or pull in my life in attracting lots of Scorpios around me. So I'm still questioning that. But it allows me to understand Scorpios in a deeper way because in that very intimate eighth house that I have, I experience the influence of Scorpio. So, again, just some theories, some things to think about. I like to do a lot of that, ask questions, and see what you guys think. Um, growing up, I had two older sisters, 9 and 10 years older than myself. So I was like the little baby. I was the little Chrissy. And my sisters were very jealous of me because, and I really can't blame them. I came into this world 10 years later. And, my parents were more established. My dad had matured. They were more established financially. So the life that my two sisters had was much different than the life that I had. And my dad really had struggled trying to get his financial career together during the years that they were little. So he didn't have a lot of time for them and was probably impatient with them. And here I come along, I'm like a surprise child. And, out of like, where'd she come from? I come into the world and I'm just the little apple of my dad's eye because he's in a different place in his life. My mother also, is getting to experience, another new baby and her, her older daughters are little teenage brats now. So here's, cutesy little Chrissy. So I spent a lot of my life kind of feeling, trying to be so desperately close to my sisters. I had just idolized my sisters. And they were just always like, me, they were always just, must be nice, always was, she got more than we do. We never got that. We didn't get what Chrissy's getting. And so being that I have all this Pisces in me, I don't know, made me kind of just feel bad about my childhood because I knew that, I experienced this. And there was always a part about my mother and my two sisters that I never could quite understand. They would get in these constant arguments and resentments and, tit for tats and always just talking about each other behind each other's backs and all of these different things. And I just was always trying to fix everybody. I was, let's forgive, let's love each other, let's understand each other. We need to have compassion for each other. And that would just make them madder. Well, as I got into astrology, of course, the first thing you go do is your family's charts. You got to know you're all crazy. What the heck is going on here? And the first thing I see is my oldest sister is a Scorpio rising, Leo sun, Leo moon. Okay? So you can imagine the power and the leadership in that sister growing up. My second sister, that's a year younger than her, 9 years older than me, is Scorpio sun. She's actually a Virgo rising. So her and I connect really well in her Virgos. She's a Scorpio sun, and she's a Gemini moon, and she's a Scorpio Mars. Okay, so now you kind of have a little picture of this sister. And so she was the wild one. She was the one always getting into trouble. She was so cute, so sexy, so magnetic, but real cute. That Virgo kind of gave her that cutesy little hippie look. But she was just always getting into trouble. And my mom and dad couldn't control her. My oldest sister with the Scorpio rising was always, you couldn't get anything by her. She was just investigating, checking things out. She knew what we were all doing. She knew who got what. She knew what she didn't get. She had this chalkboard And it just was always very frustrating because, I mean, you'd walk in a room and you'd be dressed up. You know, I've been like a hippie cowgirl all my life, so I'm like really unconventional in the way I dress. I could wear like red cowboy boots with like a crazy outfit and not think anything of it. Just horrify her. Because in her mind, everything, had to be perfect. That Leo and that Scorpio rising. And out of her mouth, you're not going to wear that. You're not going to do that. I mean, she'd just tell everybody, every flaw she could see. Every flaw. Yeah. And so it was very difficult. It felt like I was around this eagle eye all the time. And my other sister, who was kind of wild during those teenage years, later as she became an adult and had kids and different things, she did start to battle with some deep bouts of depression and some deep emotional problems. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it appeared, were all these deep resentments of her childhood. And I was like, well, I was there. I kind of remember this like fairy tale childhood that we all had. And all of a sudden, these deep resentments as an adult started coming out in her. And it caused a lot of damage in our family. But those were her pains. That was her perspective later on in life. Meanwhile, I have this older sister with the Scorpio rising who, again, same thing. She can see all of the things that happen through her eyes, through her front. So then I find out, because my mother is actually a Virgo as well. So her and I have always had this magical relationship, two Virgos, two peas in a pod. But as I got deeper into looking at her chart, she is a Venus Scorpio. And now I started to see that although I visualized my mom as kind of like, just this victim of my two older sisters that were never happy with her, I kind of started seeing that she knew how to hold her own in those relationships, and she kind of stirred things up as well.
I might be able to see it because I'm up against the mountain. Oh, here, I can't see it.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Well, you know what? I can't see it because I'm up against the mountain, so I don't know what the fuck it is.
It's amazing.
Oh, is it amazing right now?
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Even so, where the fuck it is? No, I can't see it.
Oh my God.
You just take a picture.
I am.